This is Dustin Headley, and this tutorial I work for the Institute for Digital Fabrication. This tutorial covers sending prints to the Universal Laser Cutter from Adobe Illustrator. Okay, so what I've done here is, and we'll just kind of go through here, and we'll start at ground zero. Okay, I'm in Adobe Illustrator. I have the files that I want to cut in a cut sheet opened in a file. First thing I want to do is we're going to go to Document Color Mode. I'm going to set it to RGB, and that's important because the laser cutter only reads RGB. Once that's set, I'm going to go into Document Setup, and I'm going to set my window properties, and I like doing this just because it makes it easier to locate your material, to the laser cutter. So what happens there is the bed of the laser cutter is 32 inches by 18 inches, and so that's set. Once that's set, we can click OK, and we can go in here and we can start to edit this geometry. Now these cut files were for an expanded topographies project that I worked with Sam Elkhorn on, and that's why I don't like Illustrator. Just move that across, and we're going to move this, and actually I think the material set like that in the bed. So again, we want to offset this around a boundary, so we can set this up just because the laser cutter will never be accurate out to the full extent of the machine bed, so we need to offset this in slightly, which is what you see here. And then what you want to do is, the first thing you need to understand about setting these up is in Illustrator, unlike Rhino, you need to worry about your line weights. So what we want to do is we want to select these, and we can see that they're all 1 point. You want to set these to 0.01 inches, or 0.01 points, I'm sorry. So now that they're set to 0.01, we can come in here, and we would technically be ready to laser cut because the colors of each of these objects are all black. But what we're not done yet, because we have these kind of interior cuts that we want to get cut before we have this sort of boundary outside cut getting cut. So, and this is the laser cutter. It's irrelevant whether or not you're scoring or whether you are cutting all the way through. The color scheme for this stuff is based on the order of operations. When I say color scheme, just do Control P and pull this up, set up, pull up the right printer. X660 is our laser cutter. So we're going to go to Setup, Preferences, and this is what I mean when I'm talking about the colors of these documents. We have black, red, green, yellow, blue, so on, and each one of these corresponds with a power, speed, and PPI settings. And the reason these are in this order is this order commands how cuts and score operations are going to be organized, and that's important. It's important to note that each one of these has a distinctive thing, power setting, so I can set this to 50, well, I can set this to 100, right? So in doing this, we can then start to organize cuts for scoring, organize cuts for cutting all the way through, and we can also come over here and control which colors are going to be printed by the printer as well, right? So we'll just cancel out of that quickly as we finish setting this up. And the thing that is important to note about that is that isn't also an order of operations. So we can start to set these up, and this is red 255, and it's giving me an error, but it shouldn't. Oh, it's working. Okay. Alright, so now let's go in here. Let's just do the little zoom window. We don't need that really. And let's pan around. Alright, so we have the units. The object here is located. Since black is the first color that gets listed on that list of colors, it's going to go cut first. So you can see here, and then red is the second, so it'll get cut second. So you can see how this is beginning to get set up. This file is now ready for laser cutting. Sorry. So we can come in here, and we'll just pan over, and we'll do Control P. Alright, now we need to come in here, and we need to set this. This should already be set, and we want our orientation to be whatever this first guy is, straight up and down. I guess it's portrait. And then we're going to go over here to Setup, and we're going to locate our file in the upper left hand corner, so you can see it right here. And then we're going to set up our laser cut settings, and these are going to be different per machine. We'll say the one in the lab, this was cutting 32nd inch acrylic, so about 8% power is appropriate for that. And then we'll also set this up. And you see what I did there. I can take this and say if I make this 5% power and set this. Oh, I'm sorry. Alright, so if we take this, we have this guy and we have it selected. If we select another one, it maintains these settings here, and we can click set and we can set other files. Also, you need to know if I set that to 9 and then I go on to another one, notice how the changes are not put into effect. I have to come over here and physically hit the set button for that to actually work. Alright, and that should be all you need to mess with. We're going to turn this on so it'll cut. Click OK. Click print. And now you can see our file is set up now, oriented 32 inches wide. It's taller, but that's irrelevant because this dash line cuts off at the 18-inch mark. So we can click print. And it's off. That's all there is to it. Cheers.